Right then, so with the speed reading system having just been explained, then I may as well just jump straight into a routine that uses it. Now, please do not think for a moment that this is too simple. From a layperson's point of view, it looks extremely random and kind of impossible, really. So all that's going to happen here is that they are going to either openly tell you what their star sign is, or you can peek it if you want. I think there's a really nice ending that you can use if you do peek it theatrically, but we'll come to that in a moment. Let's just get the basic version out of the way first. So all that's going to happen is, as they're shuffling the cards, you can ask them what star sign they are. Let's say they said Pisces. You now know from the system that we mentioned a minute ago that you're going to be looking for Pisces. So you're going to be looking for this marking on the cards. So when they're spread out on the table, then you're just going to clock where this card is, and you can move from there. I mean, you don't necessarily have to for this routine. You can look at each mark as you go along if you want, but it's up to you. I'll leave that bit up to you. And I'll explain what's going to happen is when the cards are spread out, we're simply going to start with the PATEO Force because the cards are now in a random order and apparently nobody knows the marks, right? So with the cards spread out on a table, you can either quickly clock where your Pisces card is so that you know to avoid it, or if she's going to touch it, or you can just look at the marks as we go, as we say. So all we're going to want to do, if you're not familiar with the PATEO Force created by Roy Baker, then all that's going to happen is one of two things actually. Normally with the PATEO Force, if you're dealing with an odd number of items or cards, then that means that the performer has to go first. And by first, I mean the performer has to put his hands down on 2 items and then they eliminate 1. When it's an even number, they have to go first. And when I say they have to go first, they have to put their 2 hands down and you have to eliminate 1. So with the PatLeo Force, the only seen weakness is that at the end, it's the participant who's got their hands down on 2 of the items, and it's still the performer that has to make the final decision. It's up to you whether you equivote your way out of that, but it just seems a bit strange to break pattern all of a sudden. But there's a good way that you can get into it that does use equivote, which is actually really useful because during each stage of the PATEO Force, somebody, whether it's the participant or the performer, somebody's doing the choosing. So either the performer's choosing which hands to put the cards down on and the participant's choosing which one to eliminate, or vice versa. So it can, every stage, no matter who's doing what, somebody can be seen to be picking something, which really is true. So you could ask them if they want to go first or second, knowing damn well that they have to go first. If they say they want to go first, say fine, put your hands down on both of on 2 cards and then you'll eliminate 1. And if they say that they want to go second, you say fine, I'll pick first, put your hands down on any 2, and I will make the first decision to eliminate 1. So all you've done is turn the tables, but you've got into it. At the end, they should realise that they did have that choice at the beginning, and therefore the outcome would have been different somewhere along the lines. But that's one nice little way into it. And then all you're going to do, if you're not familiar with it, is you're simply never going to eliminate the Pisces card yourself. That would be a bit silly, because you want it to be your force card at the end. And if she ever puts her hand down on the Pisces card, again, you purposefully never eliminate it, you just get rid of the other one. So it's always in play right until the end. So they've just told you exactly what their star sign is, mixed the cards, you've gone through this random process, and then right at the end they're left with 1 card, they turn it over, and fate, or whatever you want to call it, has led them to their own star sign. I did mention that if you wanted to, you could do it with a peak or something like that. People who know me enough by now, I could use a wallet, nice thin wallet, the really crappy ones, the 50p ones or whatever they are that you get from magic stores to keep your packet tricks in. Get a business card, or just a bit of card, wherever you want to use it, or you can come up with something. And I put on some of the impression foil. The impression foil, oh man, will this even work on here while there's nothing in it? Let's give it a quick try. So it'd be on a business card inside the wallet, in one of the little pockets, facing where you're putting your post-it note, like you're drawing on a piece of paper, but a piece of paper that's hidden away from people. And I think I'm actually using a real Sharpie there, that wouldn't work. And let's say they're a Leo. So do write down Leo on a post-it note. They take it off, they fold it up themselves, put it in a pocket, what have you, so that you apparently don't know. Open this up, take your cards out. As you're doing so, you can take your business card out, have a little peek of the foil. It now says Leo. You know exactly what their star sign is. You can go into the exact same process now of them mixing up the cards. Go through the PatEO Force. Right at the end, you're left with one card on a table. And then they can take the paper back out of the pocket, unfold it, pop it onto the table next to the card so it says Leo. Let's see if I can quickly run through and find a Leo card. It'd be ironic if I couldn't, wouldn't it? In fact, now I am looking in the wrong place, so it is rather ironic. And then that's on the table, right next to Leo. They can turn it over, and as I said, you've got a kind of nice theatrical finish there where both of them match. So that works quite well. So that's one way of doing it a little differently, a little bit more sneakily, and certainly makes it look a lot more impossible. And of course, this stuff and pens, maybe not so much the Sharpies at the minute, are available through Black Cat as well. And just use a bit of rubber cement on the back of the foil, and put that on a business card. And if you ever need to take the business card off because it's getting tatty, just peel it gently to be able to rub off all the rubber cement, and it's like new again. You can start over. So hopefully you should have a little bit of fun with that one.